The member for Swan.
Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Immigration and Border Protection. My question, will the Minister update the House on action taken by the government to make our community safer, including the cancellations of visas held by members of outlaw motorcycle gangs? And is the Minister aware of any different approaches to the protection of our borders?
Good question. The Minister for Immigration and Border Protection.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for his question, and thank him very much for the efforts on behalf of his community that he makes to make it a safer place. And that's certainly what this government is about. We've been able to cancel the visas of 106 non-citizens, cancelled or refused 106 non-citizen visas over the course of the last 12 months or so of people associated with outlaw motorcycle gangs. And what we know in this country, Mr Speaker, is that members of outlaw motorcycle gangs are the biggest distributors of amphetamines. They are involved in extortion and they are involved in standover tactics, particularly of people in small business. And as a government, we've said that we will not stand for it. So we've introduced provisions in the Migration Act which allow us to cancel visas of people who are engaged in criminal activity, including these outlaw motorcycle gang members. But, Mr Speaker, it really is quite astonishing that the Labor Party is opposed to such measures, and we ask ourselves why. Well, what people know about this Leader of the Opposition is that he is owned and managed by the union bosses of this country. He is owned and managed by them, and he has been his entire working life. That is the true fact of the matter. And we know that the CFMEU, the most militant union in the country, employs outlaw motorcycle gang members to stand over builders and workers on building and construction sites around the country. And you ask, why would this Leader of the Opposition turn a blind eye to the activities of the CFMEU and of the bikies providing that standover and muscle on those building sites around the country? Well, there are 1.3 million reasons why he did it last year, because the CFMEU donated $1.3 million to the Labor Party last year alone. They're still running a protection racket for him.
The Minister will resume his seat. The Manager of Opposition Business on a... No, Minister will just resume his seat. The Deputy Leader of the Opposition has been warned 3 times. That's it. No more interjections, no more sign language, no more anything. We'll be out.
Sign language, isn't it harsh?
The Manager of Opposition Business on a point of order.
Mr Speaker, it's under Standing Order 90. The Minister in his answer has gone directly to imputing improper motives, which under Standing Order 90 is considered... Under Standing Order 90 is considered highly disorderly. I ask that he withdraw the comments and he be brought back to the question.
I'm listening carefully to the Minister's answer. He'll just wait a second. I'm very well aware of Standing Order 90. The Minister is very close to the line. He's very close to the line, which is why I hadn't intervened. But I'll call the Minister.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. Now, $1.3 million last year was donated to the Labor Party by the CFMEU. That was eclipsed only by the shoppies, who donated a bit more than that. And we know that over the course of the last 7 or 8 years, they have donated over $6 million. So when the Australian public ask themselves the question, is this Leader of the Opposition fit to be Prime Minister of this country, they need to look at these dirty, grubby links back to these union thugs and bosses who are dictating terms to this man, and it is unacceptable for a person who seeks the highest office in this country.
The Minister will resume his seat. The Manager of Opposition Business, the Minister's concluded his answer. I think, unless it's a different point of order, I'll anticipate that the Manager of Opposition...
Mr Speaker, it is different based on he's now made comments that he hadn't made when I took the previous point of order. On the comments that he's made, I ask that he withdraw. They cannot be read as anything other than impugning motive. That's what it was entirely about, and I ask the comments be withdrawn.
Well, I think what the Manager of Opposition Business will find, I was listening very carefully, and as I said, we do get tough questions and tough answers in this place, and as I've said many times, I don't want to repeat myself, I don't want to be ruling out tough questions as well. I've listened carefully. I don't think there was anything directly there. I really don't, and I think an examination of the The Hansard, which we won't do now if it suits everyone, will show that the view I've taken is pretty consistent with past practice. But I do take that matter pretty seriously, and that's why I was listening very closely to the Minister. The member for Isaacs.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister representing the Attorney-General.